Alright everyone, welcome back. I'm actually re-watching the special report because I decided to have my mic muted for the report, so I'm having to re-watch everything again. But today we're going to check out Season 10, Price of Power, the new game mode coming to Season 11 as well, which is really, really cool. And you don't have to worry, there's going to be no fluff in this video. I'm going to edit this video so that we just get to the important parts, and we'll keep this video down to an absolute minimum. Otherwise it would be a very long one.
The holster specifically, instead of 20%, it's still going to have a perfect attribute of 15%,
Yes.
right? And weapon damage and one random attribute.
Yeah, so we moved it around basically. It was on phase 1, the perfect attribute was part of the attributes and not the core attributes. But it was on top of the other attributes. So you ended up with an item
really
that
strong.
had, 1 core and 3 attributes. One of them was a 20%.
It was always going to get
so
nerfed.
that just was really, really powerful, as it was underlined by everyone. So we tried for PTS2 to have a different approach where we thought, okay, let's move it on the core attribute, so that still is a stronger core attribute than anything else you can get in the game, and therefore you get your 2 random attributes on top of it. But that definitely obviously made it less interesting for a lot of people, and I think what a lot of people were attached to was, how good the initial proposal was for hybrid builds, because you could get your weapon damage bonus but still have a core, a blue core, or yellow core. So we decided to go back to that in the final version, if I can say, but what we're doing here is it's 15% weapon damage, and it will use one of the 2 attribute space that you would normally have with random attributes. So you're going to have a normal core, a blue core by default that you can recalibrate to something else. Your 15% weapon damage, 15% weapon damage as one attribute, and then another random attribute on top of it.
I think that's a really good compromise.
I really hope
so I'm
that
really.
everyone is
I think that's
excited
good.
about the information about exotic drop. We actually made a nice table that lists all the percentages.
Yeah, the Dark Zone will have the
exotic
highest
drop.
exotic drop
so
chance.
It's also on the known issues board. Please do check.
There, if I can comment on that.
Yeah,
just
of course,
quickly,
of
but
course.
I know that the numbers look very low, and people are, are
0.016 for the
commenting
lowest.
on that. When you look at drop rates and you see something that is 0.016% or whatever, that feels really low, and it is really low. But the intention with adding chances to drop exotics on every single NPC in the game, our intention is not to have exotics rain. What we want is that random moment where you're running in the open world and you're just shooting the red bar because it's in your way. That moment you drop an exotic, that's what we're after. It's those moments where you just out of nowhere you get an exotic item. So it is going to make exotics a bit more generous, but not so much. But it's going to create those moments where suddenly you get one when you were not expecting to have one. You still have all your predictable sources that still exist. We're also increasing the sources for exotic materials or exotic components elsewhere. So that's another way to get exotic components. But exotic items, we just wanted to see them appear in new spaces in other areas that you're not used to seeing.
I think the low chance is fine.
And now you just know that even if you can't play that specific content, even if you can't try to kill the bosses to get the exotics or whatever, you will always have a chance to get it randomly by playing anything in the game. So it gives you just more choice to decide.
I think they did the right thing with exotics. Definitely.
All of them are playable up to 8 players, but you can play them solo as well. So whoever will be the first players to complete heroic solo, I'm sure that's.
So this is the 4 new countdown difficulties.
But it's you can also, if you just want to run around and have an easy time to just look at the space and not be take some nice pictures and all of that, you can just go in normal solo if you want. So that's really just to give you more choices at the end of the day. On top of that, the few things we're adding is, as you mentioned, we're making a few improvements to the economy of the game mode, and the idea being to try to bring more people to stick around until the end. Because one thing we've seen in terms of behavior is a lot of people were just joining a matchmaking, joining a session, just to kill the hunters at the beginning because that's the most generous source of loot, and then leave as soon as the 4 initial hunters were dead. And that really wasn't our intention, especially because when you leave everybody else behind, stuck in a session where they probably cannot complete it, or they're going to be having a very hard time. So what we've done is we've increased the rewards, the currency rewards you get if you do the extraction. We've also increased, or we've decreased the drops on the first wave of hunters. So that means the first 4 that you get when you start the mode, they will drop less items. And all those items they're not dropping, we put them on the second wave.
So for the people who said
that means at the end of the day, if you complete the game mode, you will have as many loot
that you could join the solo mode,
but we're distributing more of them.
take out the
towards
free
the end,
hunters
so
and
it's really to
leave,
try to get people to stick around longer.
there's going to be no point.
And finish the mode. That's a 15-minute session, so so hopefully it's not asking too much.
Just do
people
matchmaking,
get
go all the way to the
more
end, and you'll get way more.
And yeah, we also, as you mentioned, you're also adding, we're adding more countermeasures. I can't remember how many,
8.
to be honest. But
it was around 10 new countermeasures.
10 new-
I
I
think it's
wouldn't
8.
list and release it on social media. So let's watch.
Radiation levels detected. Detonation imminent.
This is the new countdown trailer.
Warning. Radiation levels detected.
There we go.
Detonation
New
imminent.
countdown trailer.
Warning. Full lockdown initiating.
If you want to skip this, guys, it's probably around 2 minutes. It is cool though, it's a really good trailer.
Proceed with caution. Eliminate security breach.
Tell you what, I wish my specialization was that effective.
Experimental reactor unstable. EMP detonation imminent.
There we go, 8 new countermeasures. Can't remember what they are.
Warning. 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 Warning.
And the iconic hunters at the end. Unreal.
Be going after General Anderson, trying to understand a bit better what is he after, what's going on here. This is him and his beautiful jacket.
That heavy black tusk is unreal.
He's built a team with him, as you can
Cyclops
see, a
as
team
well.
of both True Sons and Black Tusk.
So we've got
what
the
is
X-Men
going on
coming.
there. So it's going to be, exploring a bit more the relationship between him and the Black Tusk, him and trying to rebuild the True Sons. The jacket that he's wearing is, for the lore fans there, it's the Anton Ridgway jacket. So you can imagine Anderson being a power-hungry leader. As soon as, Anderson or Ridgway's body was still warm, he probably just took the jacket and put it on. I was like, I'm the new leader now. But yeah, it's gonna be, building on all those events. Of course, if you, I'm not gonna say that again because in case you haven't finished season 9, I don't want to say it. But yeah, you're going to see some of the faces you've seen in season 9 as well. And yeah, it's all events that keep adding to each other. And you mentioned Sokolova. We are going to be hearing a bit more from her as well, exploring all of that. So
Yeah. Hashtag
this is my
who
spoiler
is
free.
she?
Yeah, that-
trying to tease.
That
Yeah,
heavy
it's very
looks
hard
amazing.
to talk about Manhunt without revealing too many spoilers, and actually I'm trying to leave as spoiler free as possible. As you can imagine, that is
That looks cool
a
as well.
very hard task
Cyclops, of
considering
course.
my position and my job. But still, yeah,
Stuff
I'm
we have conversations to talk about story, like story.
take a look at it because it's super nice. Let's do it.
Manhunt trailer, people. Let's get it.
Hey, Agent. Unless you need a powder shower, you might want to move your ass.
DC 62.
You were right. Lewis may be a problem.
I'm glad you agree, General. Watch him.
And see what he does next.
Natalia.
Who better to lead you to the rat's nest than a rat?
Right. Skin looks unreal. Specialization and an unreal mask. And there's the roadmap.
First, this is
Okay.
not season 10, just to be clear.
This is the new PVE content,
this
guys,
we're
coming with
targeting
season 11.
Season 11 for this one. We'll take the time we need to make sure it's good, but so far it's on target. Yeah, this is the first glimpse of the new game mode, as Daria mentioned. It is PVE Game Mode. The name of the mode is Descent, as a gist, basically what the game mode is, it is a roguelite. If you're used to those experiences, you're going to go in there as an agent. We're going to take away your gear. You're going to start from scratch, and you're going to have to use the mechanics that are available within the mode to become more powerful and try to take over a harder and harder challenges as you progress. Once your session is over, be it because you died or because you decided to exit, and cash in on your rewards, you come back into the mode, you start from scratch all over again. You have, of course, some rewards, and you have some more permanent progression that is involved in there. But yes, expect something that's going to feel very different. It's especially the progression, because one thing that I want to mention, because I don't want people to draw that conclusion, it's not going to be like we take away your gear and you have to drop items inside, or green items and blue items and purple items. That's not the way we're going to handle that. There is no loot in this mode. We are using your talents. We are using the game talents. So it's going to be about combining talents, like looting talents, combining them and building mechanics and combinations that the game usually doesn't allow you to do. So you're going to be able to create completely new playstyles, completely new builds and combinations inside that game mode that are going to allow you to become probably super powerful, probably way more powerful than what you can reach in the game. But it's all contained in that session.
That is interesting.
You start over again, and maybe you make different decisions every time every time you're completing a room. As roguelite, for those that are familiar, we give you a choice. Do you want this or that? You make a decision. You go to the next room, make a new choice. So every session is going to be different, because the choices will always be random.
Yeah,
that is very interesting.
This is basically as much as we can reveal right now, and we ask you not to bombard us with questions.
Well, that's going to happen.
Just because we won't be able to answer.
Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below, guys.
We'll ask you to patiently wait for the next time. We are more comfortable to show you more.
I mean, we know very little, but just from what it sounds like.
Yeah, and the only thing that I can mention on top of what Yannick already said, that of course I had a chance to try it myself, and I must say that it was quite challenging.
I imagine it is.
Tough, but that's what makes it really exciting and interesting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is, because it's, as I said, we're taking away your gear. So especially if you're used to the game, you have to relearn how to play without your godlike,
why do they have green
fully
watches?
optimized build, right? So you're gonna have to use cover again. You're gonna have to use weapons that you might not be used to handling, so it's really about, what makes it hard is especially this going back to the vanilla experience, in a way, of having a character without gear. But then as you progress, you can, as I said, you can build your character. You can go back to old habits.
So
but
cool.
The first habit that a lot of us have,
roguelike,
enter into the mode, is I'm going to just face
roguelite survival.
Camp the spawn closet and just shoot everything down.
Underground
it's just not going to work there. Not at the beginning anyway. So it's really about relearning how to use cover, how to use space, how to play tactical, because the mode is here to try to kill you. So yeah,
very encouraging, very exciting. But
very happy. That sounds cool to me.
The PvPers, not just the content creators. We want to hear from.
So they're just talking about the fact that the ETF team has not yet been selected and are taken from a wide range of
PvP.
players, casual, hardcore players, content creators, whatever.
PvP.
So they're still
Sure.
figuring that
Sure,
out.
nobody wants to hear about PvP.
And now we're talking about PvP.
No, so we've been talking a bit about it recently, and yes, we do intend to try to work on PvP and
So in terms of PvP, what they say is that shrapnel has basically been nerfed into the ground, and it just basically won't be useful in PvP at all. It's not been nerfed in PvE, and that they are going to be making adjustments to PvP in Season 11, and into the future they're going to be making adjustments, and eventually they're hoping to get to a point where the balancing's good, and that they can really then work out how they can just make PvP better overall. So that's basically what they talk about in respect to PvP.
Let's take a final look at Season 10 stuff. And it's apparel events. I just specifically wanted to keep it closer to the end, because I know that is probably a trigger warning, because if you're afraid of babies or dolls, probably you should not watch
This dark path.
what we're gonna show you next.
Apparel event
But if you already took a glimpse of
is already looking
the
like it's going to
beautiful
be
baby
one of my
mask
favorites.
that is part of the one of the apparel
Purge
events
masks.
in Season 10, you're gonna be fine. So we have 2 Apparel events in Season 10. One is called Shea Paragon. You can see it on the screen right now. And the baby. So Shea Paragon, the inspiration behind it is specializations. And we're going to have 6 outfits that you will see a little
6
bit later
outfits.
when the season is released.
We know Firewall and Sharpshooter.
And
We've seen those.
I think this is actually something for our military fans, right?
Yeah, I mean, not all outfits, but it is trying to go into something that is a bit more military, a bit more tactical for some of them, a bit more like, okay, taking the fantasy of a specialization and pushing it to, okay, what would a person that uses that weapon, what would they wear? So for the sharpshooter, for example, you have this kind of like infiltration, camo outfit, and then you can imagine for the other ones. So some of them are like very military, very militaristic, very tactical. Some others are a bit more out there, but it's it is going to be closer to the military style that some players are asking.
Sounds good.
And then we have the other one.
Yes.
The other one.
This is the one.
Show
Dark
me the
Path.
baby. And the other one, of course, it's dedicated to spooky season lovers. The baby
Mad.
is not the only creepy mask that is going to be
Good.
part of it. There is going to be more, and as far as I remember, 5 outfits in
5.
total.
Oh,
And inspiration
yes.
behind it, it's pretty obvious. Spooky season.
This could be up there
certain,
with one of my favorite outfits. I got to
holiday,
admit, that baby
certain
mask is
day
unreal.
in October, but that should be pretty obvious.
I love that
So,
purge
yeah, I actually
atmosphere.
love how the baby looks. It's
Yeah,
really cute.
it's cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, if you're not into the baby face, I hope you'll be
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Some people ain't going to be into this, but for
because
me
that is
personally,
also
this
really
could
cool.
be
So
up there.
yeah, it's darker, of course.
Love
It's
it.
gonna be a darker
Love it.
one, but there's gonna
Again,
be
let me know
stuff,
what you think in the comments down below about
that's
this
a
one.
bit, so yeah, people asking about specialization rework. Yes, you will see that it is not in our plan for year 4 at the moment. We are taking our time with the specialization rework, because when it comes out, we want that to be a transformation. We want that
Cool.
to completely change the way you approach character building, the way we approach
Cool.
the game.
I'm happy about
we need
that.
to take the time to do
Yeah.
that proper. It touches on so many aspects of the game that there's a lot of things that we need to relearn on how they work, because the team that built that is not here anymore. So we really don't want to release specializations and end up breaking every character build. So we're taking our time. We're taking our time to think about how does that, what place does that occupy in the end game, and how do we make it an interesting progression again, and taking a bit of the learnings from expertise as well there. So we'll take our time. So far we've moved it out of our content plans, because we don't want to push ourselves to ship something that is not satisfying because we committed to a date.
Just want to talk about this one quickly. I'm glad they've done this. The last thing I'd want them for them to do is say, look, it's coming in season 11, and then push it out when it's not finished and it breaks a load of stuff. So it appears they're really taking time with this. It's probably going to be very complex, and hopefully it does have the impact that Massive clearly want, which is pretty much a game changer.
That's going to be for hunter lovers. And
They talked about
the Delta
hardcore.
fix,
still
we know
being
that
in beta.
This issue
They
has been
do want to do some stuff with
very
hardcore in the future,
pressing,
possibly.
and we're very
This is
sorry
important.
that some of you had to endure that and had a lot of troubles with the crashes, and it's actually that something that we keep investigating and keep fixing. And with Season 10 releasing tomorrow, there are going to be 10 new fixes that are supposed to help with the PC stability. And of course, that's that. So
we got 10 new fixes coming with Season 10 tomorrow for PC crashes. Of course, probably not going to fix all of them. They said there are still some outstanding stuff that they're going to keep working on to try and get fixes out. At the end of the day, it's an ongoing issue. They're going to keep putting out fixes as long as they need to. They're never going to fix it for everyone, and I think that's the same for any game. But if they can reach 99% of people, then I think that's a job well done. But there are still quite a few issues outstanding. They're still working on them. And of course, if you have any PC issues and you want to report them, then please do, especially if you might know what the cause of that issue is. Here they're talking about people asking for more characters, but there is a question
about
it's just a question of storage,
5.
which is a different problem.
I know that it has been confirmed this Saturday in Ubisoft Forward that we're committed and already started working on it. But at the moment, unfortunately, and you're not going to be happy about
it's
my
year 5.
answer,
You're not going to have any
we are
answers
not
about year 5
ready
yet.
to reveal
Of course.
more. And another question that actually is something that I wanted to share with you right from the very beginning, but I'm grateful for whoever asked this one.
This is good.
Give us something to spend textiles on. And actually, there is going to be something throughout Season 10. I do not know the date exactly. We're gonna release the yellow hunter outfit.
Stinger outfit, yeah.
That was previously and still available.
Cool.
Through the
referral program.
Yes, and it would be available for you to buy for textiles.
Yeah, that's good. Really good news. Really happy about that.
Yeah,
very, very happy. I want that outfit.
There's actually another surprise for Season 10 that we prepared for you. It's called One Time Offer. And if we can show it on the screen here. So yeah, basically it's on the topic of premium credits, right? So you can just, if you want to refresh your apparel, your garderobe, your wardrobe, then this offer is for you, because you can get 2,000 premium credits and plus 1,000 for free, and also this outfit that you can just see on your screen right now. And also cannot announce the date right now, just because I do not remember exactly, but it's coming with Season 10, so be on the lookout.
Cool.
And if you like this outfit, because I think it's very military style.
Not sure about the lime green.
For you.
Is that yellow? I'm not sure.
And
to those of you out there, I'm sure that are in chat that are like, oh, MTX stuff, we don't care about that. This is what helps us keep supporting the game.
Exactly.
So it might not be for you, that's fine.
Exactly.
But it's important for us to talk about it.
Exactly.
And yeah, you can.
Let me just pause it there. Yannick said it perfectly there. This stuff is what helps keep Massive creating content for us, and so I'm happy to support the devs with stuff that I would want to purchase. Now, I'm personally not going to purchase it because I don't buy apparel. I never have in games. I'd happily buy a DLC, that sort of stuff if it's worth it, for sure. But it's important to understand that this is what keeps the game going. This is what keeps Ubisoft allowing Massive to create this game. And so it's important that the devs talk about this stuff because it's needed in game. And let's be honest, out of all the games that I've ever played, this game has very low microtransactions. There is barely pushed, etc. There's plenty of games out there, plenty of popular games that monetize far more than this game does, for sure, 100% more.
So the climax mission for Season 10,
that thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very nice and big surprise for you.
That's cool. So the last mission
where it's gonna take place
for Season 10.
But I'm not
Kingly College.
Good.
Yes, it's not Kingly College.
Wonder if it's
but
like
I'm
the
not
summit.
gonna say anything else, because then
Could
Morgan will be upset with me.
Cool. So there we go, guys.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the stream.
That's it for today's video. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. I might do some separate videos on a couple of these different things. I'll leave it there. This is a long video. Until the next one, epic out.